All right. Okay, guys.
And you have recording on it, so yay!
All right, so we're recording. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
you can hear me. We got volume loud and clear. All right. Okay, so I like to start all of our classes with our daily affirmation. I am so thankful and grateful now that I have patience and discipline so that I am a master trader. And I guess this evening they wanted to teach us a little bit of patience and discipline, guys, because we was having some technical difficulties there for a minute. All right, but we're going to get this thing together and we're going to get this class started like we do every other class. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacqueline Lopez, and I am one of the creators of the Milwaukee Sauce Strategy. And I am your honored educator for this evening. So I have the pleasure of welcoming you all to the Harmonic Scanner 52 Weeks to Freedom call. This is class number 6. Congratulations if you made it thus far. And we're going to get this ball rolling because I'm very excited to hear how this week went after everybody got a chance to take a look at the information that we went over last week. I know it was mind-blowing to some, and to others when you went back to review it. I'm excited to see and hear some of your feedback. All right, so like every other class, we start our classes off by going through the disclaimers. I am not a professional financial advisor. I am not here to give you financial advice as to how to invest your money. I am simply here to help you by going through some of the information that we have already learned through our IML Academy and add on some additional techniques, some additional information, some new strategies to help you guys pull this thing together. All right. So last week, we talked about the average true range, which for all of you should already know, that is our average pip count for the week. I'm interested to hear some feedback from you based on your experiences as you went through the ATR for each pair. And if you guys had anything you wanted to share, the floor is yours. Is there anyone that'd like to share anything that they'd like to share as far as the ATR and what they saw, how they used it, what their experience was? Did everybody complete the ATR tracker worksheet?
Almost.
I completed it and I found it very useful and very helpful to see what was going on and maybe find different reasons why we could have gotten more or less pips out of a week, depending on the pair.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know, Kim, you definitely went hard this week. I mean, you knocked it out real quick. Like, Kim took the initiative to take care of the entire tracker for the South team. So, I mean, that was amazing in and of itself. She just knocked it out of the park, went ahead and tried to make sure that she had a clear understanding and was able to assist with anybody else that was working on it as well. So shouts out to you, Kim. Everybody give shouts out to Kim for helping out the South team and working hard this week.
The West.
Oh, the West team. I'm sorry, the West team.
Job,
Okay.
Kim.
Much love, much love.
Yeah, I mean, guys, think about it. That's a lot of hard work to go through all of those pairs. Now, I know, that we all have lives outside of this thing here that we're trying to do with the 52 weeks. But keep in mind that as you continue to learn through this process and develop these skill sets, it's only going to manifest you into a master trader, because ultimately that's what our goal is. And if you were on the call last week, and you could see the power of the ATR based on us going through some of the pairs together. So what I wanted to do this evening is I wanted to address some questions that I wanted us to focus on and take a look at and be paying attention to as we're keeping track of the ATR as we move forward. Now, if you completed the chart, you should already have determined which pair has had the highest pip count over the last 5 weeks or 4 weeks when we started. So that would tell us which pair is the most volatile, which one is moving the fastest. We also want to know, and it's going to help us figure out which one has the lowest pip count. So which one is moving the slowest. And then there should be some other observations that you'll start to pick up on as far as trend direction. And those are things that we'll want to pick up on the pairs that we're focusing in on in our study groups together as a team. Because guys, we don't expect us all to do all of the work ourselves. That's the power and the strength in numbers. If we come together as a team and we help each other out, just like Kim did, then we can get this work done a whole lot quicker, and we can focus our attention in on the analysis part. However, never let someone else do the work for you, because you want to be able to do these techniques on your own when you're not with anyone else, when you don't have any other help. That's the ultimate goal, to be able to do this yourself, to become the signal, not simply just take a signal. Because if you're a trader, that's exactly what we're trying to do. And then we're also going to want to pay attention to where are we currently in the market. And we can take a look at some pairs this evening and figure out how many pips has that particular pair given since the week started this week, so that we have an idea of typically, I'll say that again, of typically how many pips we have left that that particular pair could potentially produce for us. All right. So last week, we talked about how to calculate the average true range. And this is the mathematical equation to do that. And you can already see that there are 2 examples. I won't go back through that in great detail, because if you missed it, that was class 5. You can go back and watch the recording. But we will go over some calculations together this evening, so you'll be able to practice it now. Okay. I am going to share the tracker. Can everyone see the ATR tracker on my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I have taken the liberty, based on each one of the pairs, based on the highs and the lows for each weekly candle for the last 5 weeks. And I've calculated them based on Owanda. Now, if you used any of the other brokers through TradingView, your numbers might slightly be different than mine. Shouldn't be very much off, but they might be slightly different. Okay, but you will be able to see on my screen each one of the pairs have been completed. And you'll notice that if it was in red, the number is red, we know that that week was in a downtrend. And if that number is blue, that week's candle was in an uptrend. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now, I have noticed, based on these numbers, that AUD USD has the smallest pip count for the ATR. It's at 85. I'm going to scroll down this list of black numbers, and you verify that 85 is the smallest pip count. Is 85 the smallest pip count?
Yes.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that particular pair's pip count, because now we know as a team that AUD USD, based on the numbers that we've collected thus far, produces the least amount of pips typically in any given week. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
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 All right, now,
Yes.
if we go down the list, we will also notice that GBP NZD produced typically 364 pips. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So that being said, typically GBP NZD gives out the most pips in any given week. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now, I've also taken the initiative to create a 6-week calendar, which now includes all 5 previous weeks. I've already calculated the ATR for those 5 weeks. And if you notice, AUD USD still remains as the pair that gives out the least amount of pips. And GBP NZD still remains strong as being our leader for giving out the most amount of pips. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now, what we're going to do is you give me a pair and let's calculate where we are right now for the current week.
Can we look at USD CAD?
USD CAD, UCAD?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, let me pull it up. UCAD. Does anyone know what the ATR is for UCAD right now? All right, we'll take a look and see. USD CAD. Like I said, I use Owanda. Oh, I got alerts going off. GBP AUD. Which team is that? The 3 and the 10 is crossing on the 15-minute. I hope y'all see that. Somebody better be looking at the scanner. See if that's what's what. Or take a look at your charts and see. All right, let's see. UCAD. USD CAD.
I also have a question.
You guys like 130.
Go ahead.
Okay, Matt, I want to know why you use Wanda.
It's just the one that I use. Well, I use it because it looks closer in resemblance to Trader's Way when I'm looking at Trader's Way on my mobile device on my phone, because I use Trader's Way to trade Forex. Now, that's not a, like a pitch to go use Trader's Way or anything like that. It's just what I've been using. I used to have JAFX, but they stopped accepting U.S. customers. So I ended up going to Trader's Way, and Owanda just seems to look closer to what they offer, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we got UCAD current week, July 10th, 2019. I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna call out the high and the lows. I'm gonna need somebody to take record of it. I'll pull up the calculator. Here, let me pull up my calculator.
Jacqueline, I think the current ATR is 185.1.
Okay, I'll go back and take a look. UCAD. Let's see. Here, let's go back and look together. Then y'all see what I see. All right, UCAD current ATR with the last 5 weeks is 157 based on Owanda's numbers. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Now let's go back. Let's take a look at UCAD. If you notice, guys, I changed my candles so that it will correlate with the chart. So now blue is up, red is down, just to make it easier for us while I'm teaching. All right, so June 10th, 2019, the high, 1.33448. The low, 1.32430. Does somebody have the numbers?
What was the high again?
1.33448. And the low is 1.32430. Somebody got the high and the low?
I got it.
All right, I'm gonna share the calculator. All right, give me the high.
The high is 1.33448
Minus
1.32430.
1.32430. 101.8. We go back to the tracker. UCAD. 100 and what? 101.8.
Yes.
All right. Was that up or down? Was the candle green or was it blue? I mean, blue or red? Do we remember? Let's see.
Yeah, that I didn't see.
Jacqueline, are you using the Hakanashi candles?
Let's see.
I think you're using the regular candles.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Good catch. Good catch.
The numbers are different too.
Well, let's go back. Good catch. Thank you very much. See, I had to open it up fresh, a fresh chart. So remember, guys, here's a lesson, a learning moment, teaching moment, right? Make sure that when you open up your trading view and you open up a new chart, that you make sure that your candles and all of your settings are opened up correctly so that you don't miss a step. All right, so let's go back to it. June 10th, 2019. We're going to redo the high, redo the low. High, 1.34281. And the low is 1.32430. Color red. Somebody got it?
Got it.
All right. Calculator. All right, give me the high.
1.34281.
281 minus
1.32430. And
430.
the candle is red.
185.1. 185.1. And we said it was red.
Yes.
185.1 red. All right, so as you can see, UCAD has already given out more pips than it typically does in any given week. So then what would our analysis potentially be for UCAD for the remaining part of this week? What should we be keeping an eye out on?
Any
That is
CAD
going up.
news, because it's done.
Say it one more time.
I said the only thing I would look for is any CAD news because it's done giving out pips for the week.
Yes. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you see why we say that? Does everyone understand where we're determining this from?
No.
Okay. So, if we calculate how many pips each pair is giving out in the course of a week, and we calculate the average, it will tell us typically how many pips that particular pair should give us in any one direction over the course of the week, which is the reason why we look at the weekly chart. So if you haven't watched class 5, I would suggest that you go back and rewatch class 5, because I talk about the importance of the ATR and why we use it. Because ultimately, if you think about it, guys, if you can tell how many pips are giving out in any one particular week, we're going to be looking, and we can do this as a team for the next few days, for the remaining part of this week. Look at UCAD and watch what it does. Does it consolidate? Does it continue to push to the downside? Or does it start to pull back and switch to look to move towards the upside? Those are the things that we're going to start to want to look for, and as we calculate the pips, we'll be able to do that, which is the reason why you should be keeping a journal of your trades and all of these certain types of techniques that we're starting to teach you, like the ATR, like your currency strength. If you guys haven't been made familiar with your currency strength and you're new to the 52 weeks, start asking questions in your study groups. That's what we're here for. Those individuals that's been in this thing since the beginning of its launch, you guys are now the experts. You guys know more information than the newbies. So you're going to have to help them along the way. And as you're learning this process, the only way to truly test whether or not you have a clear understanding of it is to teach it. If you can teach it, you have mastered it. And so that's the way you want to look at it. We're here to help each other out. All right, so let's take a look at another pair. Anybody got any suggestions? One that you want to look at? Which one was the pair that was already done for the week that we did last week? Was that you, Jay? It might have been you, Jay. Let me see. I don't remember. Okay, it don't matter. We'll pick one. Y'all act like y'all don't have no preference, so I guess I'm gonna just pick one for y'all. Let's do the highs and the lows. Let's knock them out. Let's do AUD USD and just see what it did so far. See if it's close to where it needs to be. AUD USD. All right. All right, ready, guys? June 10th, 2019, the week's high, 0.70092, and the low is 0.69255. Does someone have the numbers? And the color is blue.
I got it.
All right. Go to the calculator. All right, what's the high?
0.70092.
0092 minus
0.69255.
255.
And the color is blue.
All right, that's 83.7 pips. 83.7 pips. And we said the color was blue?
Yes.
All right, so look, guys. AUD USD already, as of today, has given out 84 pips. It's 3 pips shy of what it typically does in any week. Does everyone see that?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you know that, then we're going to be looking at AUD USD to potentially consolidate for the rest of the week. It might give out more pips to the upside, but I would be careful with it because it's close to have reaching what it typically does in any given week. We would have to see some news or some event or something to push the market, some unknown factor, those things, those hidden nuances that we haven't talked about yet, those things that will continue to add on to the information that we're sharing so that you understand why the market does what it does. And this is just one technique to help you do that. All right, let's take a look at GBP NZD. Since right now it's showing as being our strongest of the pairs. GBP NZD. GBP NZD. On the weekly. Oh, you see, guys, I've been marking this up. You know, this the Midwest team. So we got, you see, I'm working on our pairs right now. So they marked. All right, so for the week, June 10th, 2019, it's a red candle, and the high is 1.94002, and the low is 1.91022. Does someone have the numbers?
I got it.
All right, let me go to calculator. All right, give it to me.
Okay, 1.94002
Minus
1.91022. 1022.
022. 298 pips. All right, let's go back to our tracker. 298. And what color was it?
Red.
It was red. All right, so already to today, GBP NZD has already given out 298 pips to the downside. Does everyone see that?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does everybody understand what we're using the ATR for and how we're using it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I have a question. I want to make sure I understand it.
Okay.
You're looking at what you have highlighted in yellow, right? The 368
Mm-hmm.
to determine the how much it's going to give, or has it reached its maximum?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
In any one direction, because if you notice, when you're looking at the weekly candles, the week's candle is going to tell you whether or not for that week, for the entire week, did it go up or did it go down?
Okay, cool.
And if you're looking, just looking at this chart, if you didn't even look at Trading View, you just looked at these numbers and looked at these charts, can you guys see a pattern based on the colors?
I
Yes.
can.
So if you can see that, you'll start to notice where the dojis are, where the market starts to slow down and the market changes directions because of the change of the weekly candle. Does everybody understand that?
Say that one more time.
Yes.
Okay, so look, watch. When we go back to the chart, right? I'm gonna pick a better, well, here. I'll just mark it up later. Let's clean it. All right. For example, notice if we're keeping a record of the ATR, right? And we're marking that this candle right here where my crosshairs is on an uptrend, and we know how many pips, and then we know that this continued the uptrend, and we know that it was more pips given out than the previous, or you see what I'm saying? And then we start to notice that the pip count starts to shrink, starts to minimize, right? And we notice the color of the candle changes. We're noticing the trend is changing directions. Does everybody see that?
I do. I see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we go back to the tracker, just looking at the numbers itself, for example, look at EURNZD. Look how it started off where it gave out 374 pips the first week of the 52 weeks. Then it gave out 257. Then it gave out 223. Does everyone see the numbers getting smaller?
I do.
Yes.
Then it gave out 106. That's a sign that there is less buyers, less momentum going to the upside. Then we noticed, right, last week it changed directions and it gave out 190 pips to the downside. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 So when you're doing the ATR, you'll start to notice patterns like that. Look at EURCHF. Look how it was red. And I bet you this week right here, because it had a spike, and it typically only gives out 112 pips, there might have been some strong news that week or something that happened in the market to push it up. Do you see how just looking at the fluctuation in the numbers can help you to make an analysis? It's just an additional confirmation when you're looking at the charts. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Whew.
Or look at EURJPY. It was red for 4 weeks straight. Then all of a sudden it changed and went to the upside. And it was strong because it gave out more pips than it typically does. So I want you guys to start when you're looking at calculating the ATR for this week, because I'm going to send out the updated version of the ATR tracker as I have it right now. And then all you have to do is go through and complete the current week to make sure that you're current with your numbers. Now, keep in mind, whatever numbers you calculate out for today, you'll have to go back and recalculate them once the market closes to get an accurate account of the pips for that particular week. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions? Because I know we're getting right up on the hour. I know Oren comes on next. Does anyone know? I just seen a levels alert go up. Can anyone check levels and let me
I
know?
did. It
Is he
came
having
up.
class this evening or is it canceled?
Yeah. Well, he just sent out another link. It just came in now.
The link just came in. That means that he's having a class.
Yep, he's having a
Go ahead.
class. Yeah, he
Okay.
sent out the Zoom link.
When I saw it, I thought of you. I was like, oh.
Okay. All right. So this is what our next steps are, guys. I want you guys to calculate the ATR for all the currency pairs for the current week. But you're going to want to pay special attention to the ATRs for the 4 pairs that you're each studying in your study groups. And in the study groups this week, we should be talking about the ATR, the patterns, whether, what the pip counts are, where our pairs are by Wednesday or today. You know what I'm saying? Start to look for those patterns so that we can help out, so that we can master those 4 pairs, so that we can actually help Trade Nation as a whole when we start actually sending out signals coming from each study group. Because that's ultimately one of the goals that we have. We will become the signals for those 4 pairs that we will master in each one of those groups. You'll also want to keep practicing the Milwaukee sauce. If you guys got questions, if it's anything that you don't understand, ask in the study group. That's where your conversations should be happening. That's the only way that leadership can determine who needs additional help, who the leaders are, who potential educators will be for the future. All of those things are what we're looking for in the study group. What you get out of this process, guys, is going to be mainly determined on what you put into it. You have to participate. You have to ask questions. When we started this process, I told you, no question is a dumb question if you don't know the answer. I am a student always, just like you are. I don't know all of this stuff either. We're here to learn from one another. I will be learning from you, and all of the educators and leaders will be learning from you, just as you will be learning from us. So stay plugged into the study groups. Keep monitoring the Harmonic Scanner Telegram group. We've been trying to be more proactive and making sure that the signals get into that group in a timely fashion so that you guys get access to valid trades. I know that we've been also trying to make sure that we stay on top of the signals and the alerts that we have set for our pairs. So I've been trying to also communicate in the groups to place alerts when I get signals also. So just keep that in mind. If you guys see something, put it in the group so that we can all see it together. All right, guys, thanks for joining us this evening. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I look forward to seeing you all on Oren's call. And we will get this thing so that by the end of the 52 weeks, we all going to be at the beach and definitely at the bank. All right, guys. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good job.
Thank you. Y'all have a nice week.
Thank you.
Appreciate